thanks a lot for having us in today. This is such a cool place. You know, the minute you walk in, the first thing you get is this really comfortable but very cool and unique family room.
Thank you. Thank you. Don't get too comfortable because you're going to be gone as soon as the camera's off. You know, a lot of weird stuff here. I got, this is an award I got from President Bush for being a good patriot. This is just some of the stuff I love. Johnny Sacco. Do you remember Johnny Sacco?
I've heard.
Kind of an obscure thing. I loved it. Lost in Space. I just built this. Huh?
Oh, that's a model.
It's an old model kit. I built these when I was a kid. This is a gift from Creed. You know the band Creed?
Right.
Yeah. And Frankenstein. I still love Frankenstein. And then here's more, you know, I love the old Japanese stuff. Huh?
That is neat stuff.
Ultraman, you remember Ultraman? Got his power from the sun? No? How about this? Barry Williams.
No, now he's a good friend of yours. He was at your wedding, and you hung out with him?
The thing is, he's usually here by now. We usually sit around and watch reruns. He loves TV Land. That's all he watches.
No kidding.
Lives in the past. Drugs, I think. Drugs.
Yeah, it probably was.
It's very sad.
So he's the only Brady that ever comes over, though. Is that correct?
Well, the rest of them, you know, died in that plane crash.
Right.
And then how about this? How about this thing? Can you get a close-up of this? Look how scary that is. This thing scares the hell out of me.
That is absolutely freaky.
This scares me. Isn't it freaky looking?
He's very freaky looking.
But you know what this scares me? You know what else scares the heck out of me?
What's that?
This scares the bejesus out of me? Snuggles, the fabric softening bear. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I know exactly what you're talking about. He's got that giggle.
He comes out of the laundry. I'm Snuggles. Scares me. This scares me. This thing scares me. I'm not kidding you.
So have you always been the kind of guy who likes to have stuff around the house that freaks him out?
Yeah. You know what?
You like being scared later?
Here's the thing. When I was a kid, the shows I like, you know, these were all off TV. I saw them in reruns.
Right.
So I could never get any of the toys. And now with eBay and some of the different, you know, and I go to garage sales, whatever, I'm able to find toys from shows that I loved when I was a kid, but there weren't toys around. So it takes me back to a time of innocence and a time when, you know, when I was...
When we come back, Mancow shares his plan for world domination.
Sweet home, Chicago.
I'd say one of the really cool things in this room is this mirror. Now, there's a story behind this.
Yeah, this is from the 1920s. This is from Coney Island.
Okay.
And this is from the merry-go-round. And it was the Garden of Eden. These are supposed to be apples. And see the carved snakes that tempted Eve. And I just love this piece.
No kidding.
And then here's this is a shot from when I got married.
Nice.
That's
down Michigan Avenue, right?
That's on Michigan Avenue. That's the chosen one.
She looks very cute without the monkey
It takes
mask.
a very special one to put up with you being here.
Right.
So.
Now, and these really cool pillars. I mean,
yeah,
with the globes on top, they've kind of got a 1930s like Art Deco-y feel to them or something.
I think I think these are late 1800s, and they're from the Masons Lodge.
Oh, really?
And they have all kinds of symbolism and stuff that I don't understand. But basically, from what I do understand, with these pillars, I can control the world. I just haven't figured out how to manipulate them yet.
Well, I'd love to be here when you do. Okay. You know, one of the other cool things, you are so closely associated with Q101,
right?
Which is obviously an alt-rock station. Going over here looking at your jukebox, you see all kinds of different musical tastes. I mean, you've got the Kinks, Donny Osmond. I know you're a big Moody Blues fan. Phil Collins. So you really have
some classical music in there. There's all kinds of weird stuff. I like everything. I like a little bit of everything, and you know that is what I think has served my radio show and my stuff on Fox TV and everything, because I'm interested in everything.
Right.
I'm kind of like a good guy to talk to at a cocktail party because I know a little bit about everything.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't know a lot about any one subject. I'm a borderline moron. I make a good radio host or a good car salesman. That's about it. Just because I know about a lot. I have a lot of different tastes. As you can see as you walk through this place.
You know, you got this picture of your dad up here, and I know that this picture's pretty famous now because it is on the cover of your book.
Dad, Dames, Demons, and Dwarf. This is my dad at 15. He was just about ready to get this car. $35 he paid for this car.
Get out of here.
And, you know, it's not hip. It's not very Generation X to say this, but I actually love my dad, and he was a pal. And when he passed away, it sent me into a tailspin. And I kept a diary, and I published the book. You know something? I don't know that there's any pain. Is your dad still alive?
He is.
I don't know that there's any pain worse for a son than to lose his father. And I kept a diary, and I never, just of the feelings I was going through, and I never thought I would do anything with it. And they called and said, hey, you want to write a book? I said, eh. And a couple days later, I sent this diary off, and it became a big hit. People have really responded to it.
Yeah, you know, it's an incredible book, and I think one of the things that you definitely very quickly get this strong bond you had with your father. Yeah. one of the things I think that kind of reflects into your career here, you mentioned P.T. Barnum a lot in this book, and of course P.T. Barnum is the name associated with the circus and promotion and the master manipulator and promoter. And in a lot of ways, I think that people look at you as kind of a modern day P.T. Barnum, and you compare yourself in some ways in the book. But you talk about the freak show, and definitely with people who are fans of the Mancow Morning Madhouse, you really see the connections that this is somebody who influenced you.
I do talk about P.T. Barnum in the book, and I'm able to sit down with scholars, and I know everything about P.T. Barnum, and it's inherent. And I have dreams as P.T. Barnum. And I went to the museum in Connecticut, and I know everything about him, and not from reading books. I just know the man. There is a bit of me in him, or him and me. What I like is he did these great jokes, but he always did it with a straight face. P.T. Barnum made his first million a nickel at a time. Imagine how many people had to go through. A nickel at a time made $1 million. Do you know what it was? He had a big picture of a 6-foot man eating chicken. This great freak show banner. And when you got inside, do you know what it was? It was a 6-foot man having a chicken dinner. And then they had a sign that said, "Shh, don't tell anybody. Get your friends for the joke." And that's what I do. I like to do my radio show with a straight face. Everybody else has the fake crowd laughing and all that. I don't think you have to tell people it's a joke.
With the radio morning shows, in a lot of ways it polarizes people. I mean, you're a figure who's been controversial at times.
Yeah.
It's kind of a love them or hate them type of mentality.
Right. You know what? Let me tell you something. Love is easy. Hatred is easy. Okay? It is. Yep. It is. I don't care if people love or hate me. What I hate is apathy. Apathy is death. I love when people go, "I hate your guts. I want you dead." Great. I love you. Great. It's the same to me.
Right.
And I can't let a bunch of strangers control who I am. I do my own thing. Do you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
You can't let so many of us live our lives where we're defined by what other people think of us. And I just refuse to live that way.